When Cars drummer David Robinson brings us his baby for a complete restoration,
My car is a 1969 de Tomaso Mangusta.
the good times roll.
This is the stage where it starts to get fun, David.
We're giving it everything we've got, including a new crew member.
This is going to go into a famous car.
What famous car?
Well, it's one that I'm doing, that's why it's famous.
To make this a restoration for the history books.
Ready?
We recently got a new project in the shop, and it's gonna be huge.
Not only are we doing a restoration on a very rare car, the owner of the car is just as cool as the car itself.
Rock and Roll Hall of Famer David Robinson was the drummer for the new wave rock band, The Cars.
And we were just thrilled when he asked us to restore the car that he first fell in love with.
We've been working on it for a couple of weeks now, and today David's stopping in to check on our progress, and I think he's going to be very surprised.
So how's it look?
It looks crappy. No, it looks incredible. My car is a 1969 de Tomaso Mangusta.
It was red the last time you saw it.
It was.
Now it's been stripped and sandblasted and putting some new components in.
The last time I looked at it, they had just started to work on the bodywork. But before that, I left a shiny new red car that didn't look so bad to begin with.
I'm glad that we went through the process of doing the stripping and stuff because we didn't know what was underneath. Now we find out. It's a good thing that we didn't restore it based on the paint that we had on the car.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought it looked fine when I brought it in here.
Yeah, but the minute we started really poking away at it, we knew that there was some issues. So,
Yeah.
when you're restoring a car, you really can't tell what it's going to be like until you start taking it apart. Sort of like an old house, you know, you peel the sheetrock off the wall and you find out the wall's all rotted out behind. So that was the case with David's car. It actually looked fairly good until you saw the door fits and the gaps, and stripping the paint off of it, you find out that there's filler involved. You get that filler off, then you find out that the car was crashed maybe, or a little body work done here and there. This car needed some structural work, which we've done. We know that every speck of rust has been removed, or corrosion everywhere. Then Craig had it all primered so that you know, we don't have any other corrosion starting to happen on a bare metal chassis.
Yeah, I love to see it like this too, to see all of the construction of all these components.
Yeah.
How complicated and elaborate all of the stuff is with this beautiful body coming up.
You know, we really want to make this car correct and authentic, and it's really got a great place in automotive history as well as David's life.
Well, I think they made 401 of them. They can vaguely account for maybe 175.
When Di Tomaso debuted the Mangusta, it made a big impression.
As a junior high school student, I saw a picture of it in a magazine and freaked out. I thought it was the most beautiful car I'd ever seen. I was really into cars as a kid, and this was the car. This was my car.
How long ago did you buy it?
I think 18 or 19 years ago.
Really?
I just came across it in my hometown. Somebody was thinking about chopping it up to make some kind of road race car out of it or something. I said, well, don't chop it up. I'll be right over there to buy it. I bought it and put it in storage. It had had some body work done and some paint done. Never drove it. I think I heard the engine start once the day that I looked at it. Eventually, I could see that it was way too valuable to be sitting and waiting for somebody to restore it. And finally, I thought, well, I think I have enough money to do it, and I'm interested in doing it. But it wasn't that easy. I had to look around to find somebody close by. So when Wayne took my car on, it was just, it couldn't have been better. Everything has fallen into place.
Do you ever think you'd go through this process?
No, I'm so lucky that I can come by and look at it.
Anytime, we'd love to have you.
I would have felt bad if you just delivered it to me or something.
Yeah,
I got in it. Now I know what's gone into it and how it's built.
As soon as we have all this chassis and body work done, then, you know, your job is going to be to pick out the color.
I better work on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's easy to do. I mean, you know, and you can do it any color you want. As long as it was painted on another Di Tomaso that particular year.
Yeah.
I mean, it fits. So they had blues and oranges and greens, and they had all sorts of colors.
Yeah, I wouldn't go crazy at all on it. I like blue. I know it came in a nice light blue, sort of metallic paint. The red was okay.
Yeah.
But I'll think about it.
Yeah, we want to try to stay as original as possible.
Yeah, that's what I want. Yeah.
You know, when we go to paint it, come down and be part of that process too. That's kind of cool.
Yes, for sure. Yeah.
You know, see the color go on and.
Yep. It's like a dream come true. It's going to be. I'll be driving it, and it's going to be beautiful. I can't wait.
With David's seal of approval, we get back to work. Craig's taking lead as project manager on this restoration, and Chris is responsible for returning the Mangusta's body to like new condition, which can be tricky with rare cars.
I'm curious about this body line, if that's supposed to be gone, or if that's supposed to be there, or if it goes all the way and fades away. I'm just not sure. I put it in there, but...
I think you got it correct. We'll go on the computer and look at some pictures.
Okay.
And then there was something else.
Yeah, this side marker light is not the same as the one that's on the computer. On the computer, you've seen ones that go like this.
Okay, the round one.
The round ones.
And this side rectangle?
Rectangle, like the Ferraris.
Yeah, right.
But I found this next door, and
It's too big.
too big.
All right, so we gotta look in the side markers too. I gotta do a little research here.
In any restoration, the most important first step is research.
Try to see if there's a defined body line on the front fender.
Since many of the surviving Mangustas have been modified or improperly restored, it can be tough to find an authentic example.
And it's there, but it's very rounded. It almost looks like it's not there at all. But it is supposed to have a little bit of a peak. It's just not as pronounced as the door and fender. I just want to make sure we get it right.
While Craig pores over photos, Chris searches for clues in the parts catalog.
Looking at, see if we've got any pictures of this car. Get the correct side marker lights. See how it actually looked before somebody else restored it.
Earlier in the day, they made an amazing discovery: the original paperwork for the car.
We were over there looking for parts and lights.
Just to make sure everything fits, but I found all this stuff, paperwork. I'm scared to touch this stuff.
Yeah.
Craig also hopes that if the build sheet indicates the original color of the car, it will help David make up his mind about the paint.
Yeah, I think this is the original one right here.
That'll tell what color it was originally, but
It says it's number 361.
that's nice.
If that's the number of the car, or
Yeah. Remember the build.
it could be in here somewhere. But it's in Italian, so I can't read this.
Ah. You speak Italian, don't you? Ray?
Can anybody
Don't
read
you speak
Italian?
Work is well underway on the Mangusta. We've repaired the aluminum engine lids and fit the panels and restored the original crisp body line. Today, David's arrived with a present for Craig. He's found some original parts that we thought were lost forever.
Sweet. Yeah, like you say, they're very simple, but this is what they were, you know?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
It was probably never straight. There were a lot of pieces that weren't attached to the car when I bought it.
Taillight bezels.
Nice.
And they started calling me and said, "Do you have this or do you have that?" And I said, "Yeah, I know I had it." So I kept telling them to keep looking. And then I found them when I was looking at for something else completely. I said, "What is this thing marked?" "Oh, it's marked Mangusta parts." You know, but somehow I missed it.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's it. Here's the glass.
That's all, both pieces?
Yeah.
This is the first time David's going to see it in total primer and see all the panels fitting properly. I think he's going to be really surprised.
Well, this is looking great, Craig. This looks incredible.
This is the stage where it starts to get fun, David.
Yeah.
The other stage wasn't fun, but
No, it wasn't much fun. But seriously, it looks like a better car.
You really start to see the shape and
Yeah,
silhouette.
yeah, the lines.
There was a
The
lot
top
of stuff.
line.
well,
Yeah.
especially in this color, you know, some colors just don't work good in showing lines and curves and
Yeah,
stuff.
this is almost perfect. Like it's a neutral, totally
Yeah, it
neutral,
is.
and you just see the shape of the car. There's no reflection or anything.
Exactly.
I can see that the body is straighter, so I can appreciate the actual true lines of the car more. It has a whole different effect seeing it like this. I was happy with the old car until now.
Yeah, no, it was nothing.
In addition to showing David the progress on his Mangusta, we've asked him here to finalize a big decision about his car.
I need to decide on a color really soon.
Well,
We never rush a client, but David's been reluctant to pick a color for months now. So we're going to help him make up his mind once and for all.
Could you tell what color it was originally? Was it white?
I think yellow.
It
It had a
was
lot of yellow in places that would have never got repainted.
It probably was yellow.
I think it was
It had
yellow.
a cream interior.
Yeah,
That must have looked pretty awful. Yeah.
yellow with cream.
Yeah, that's not good. Yeah. I think those two colors are horrible together, so I'm glad I never saw it in that state. So probably the interior would be black, which was, I think, the most common color anyway.
David's clear he doesn't want yellow. And last time he was here, he was set on a light blue. But there's another color he's been curious about.
I do need to look at Ferrari reds because I know
Corsa
there's
red,
several of them. And now that
Hey,
I can
Mario.
see,
Do you have any spray out cards of the Ferrari, the Corsa Red? Yeah. We've never been able to find any information on factory colors for the car. I've made phone calls, I've done internet research, and found nothing.
it looked like there weren't any factory colors other than black and white and yellow that I was sure of, and some kind of red.
A hand-built car like this was probably, when they were building it for the owner, it was, I like this color right here, and that's what they painted it.
I think so,
May very
certainly
well
in
be.
some cases.
I just cannot find any information.
We have to go to Italy.
Yeah, I'll go with you.
Yeah, ask some old guys.
Yeah. A couple of old guys in Italy looking for
They
a
go get some dusty
Mangusta
paint
color.
chips.
Rather than book the next flight out, Marius brings David 2 samples of classic Ferrari reds.
You got 2 different ones. So this is an actual, the 300 color that you see on 308s. This is a newer red that they used. But this is the actual red.
That's your classic.
What do they call this
Classic.
now?
It's
What is
300.
this called?
It's Corsa.
Oh, Rosso
yeah,
Corsa.
300. And this is Rosso Scuderia.
Well, this is certainly more what I had in mind.
Right.
That's more vintage.
In Italian, Rosso Corsa means racing red, and beginning in the 20s was the national racing color of Italy.
From the beginning, it's never been anything different than blue or red. He's never said silver, gray, orange, anything else. It's always been either blue or red.
Blue didn't quite convey how I pictured myself in the car. It was more like an executive sort of looking color. So what other shades are there
That's it.
that are dark? Oh, just this?
That's it.
For Ferrari, yeah.
Okay,
That's
that's
what I mean.
easy.
It's,
Yeah, there's no
That was easy.
variances to.
you can have that.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Take
can
it
keep
with
this
you.
one.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Stare at
okay.
it a little bit and make sure. Again, there is no set color. I mean,
That's
you
right.
You could take a red like this.
Paint it
or-
pink. How about this? How about
How about that? Hey, Wayne had said a nice burgundy. I don't know how you feel about burgundy colors.
No.
No.
I think I'm going to stick to the red. It's an Italian sports car, and
Put it
you can't go wrong with that.
computer and kind of paste the color on it. Yeah, Photoshop a color. You can look at that.
Yeah, that's going to be good. That'll do it, for sure.
Although progress on the Mangusta has been going well, we've come to an unexpected crossroads that throws a wrench into the restoration plans. All right, let me get some gloves on. We're just trying to convince him not to paint it Ferrari red. David Robinson came down a week ago, and his final words to the guys in the shop were Ferrari red. I totally disagree with that. You know, there's beautiful maroon ones out there, and if I can get him to just at least agree. Ferrari red is a beautiful color, but a car that's got beautiful lines like the Mangusta really needs to see those lines. In order to do it, a medium to darker color really shows the lines much better, where you see the shadows.
It's kind of a little bit redder.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Okay.
I don't like that. I like this. I would like to see the car a beautiful maroon or a red with a lot of blues in it. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put some violet in there right now and see where it takes us. And that way there, just in case, then we've got the other tip. Because that violet can be very strong. Yeah, it's good. It's going in the right direction. That's what I want. It's actually pretty nice. Let's go with that. I'm liking it. What I'm going to do is base coat it with that maroon, and then get David to come down. And I think once he sees it in that color, it's going to be very, very hard to resist. I'm going to make a couple of shots with it, take a look at it, see what it looks like, and then you're on your own. So we're going to put this on, and we're going to be able to look at the car, really make sure that there's no imperfections in it at all before we go ahead and put the final paint on it. So once we paint it, it's done. So what I'm doing is I'm putting one coat on here. We're going to look at, just making sure I like the color. Maris brings the light in. We take a look at it. It's a little light, but you know what? Just, it'll give them an idea. That's really the key. All right, you're in charge. Paint it. I'm really liking this color. I think David's going to like it too, but you never know. Up next, David's back at the shop. Follow me, we're going to show you your car. And we reveal the Mangusta's new look. David takes one look at the car, I look at his face, and I said, uh-oh, this is not good. David Robinson's coming to look at his Mangusta today. Last time he spoke with Craig about the color, he definitely wanted it Ferrari red, 300 red.
Yes.
But I've got something else in mind than the Ferrari red, and I've painted the car a different color. I don't know what his reaction's going to be. Either he's going to be very upset, or he's going to let it roll off his back, or he's going to really love the maroon color. I'm hoping for the third choice. Follow me, we're going to show you your car. David takes one look at the car, I look at his face, and I said, uh-oh, this is not good.
When David looked at the car, he just stood there in silence for a few seconds.
What have you done to my car? I was expecting to see my car painted a Ferrari red. But to my surprise, it looked purple. This is like a base coat? Is that what I'm looking at?
Yeah, well, I'm a guy that never follows the directions of the client.
Yeah.
So you want it bright red, and I don't.
He does not like the color.
I think you mentioned that color before,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken.
I think this car would look so good in maroon. But yet it's your car. So I'm giving this the opportunity because what we do normally is we put a base coat on like this to see if there's any slight imperfections that we couldn't see before in the primer coat. And then we'll sand it, and then we'll paint it any color you want.
Turns out that Wayne thought that I would love it so much that when I saw it, I would be convinced. I've seen this kind of trickery before on television.
I can tell David doesn't really like it, but second plan is to push it outside. Sometimes if you see it in the actual natural light, that would change his mind. Let's get it out in the sunlight, and then we'll put a little Prepsol on it. Hopefully, by pushing it outside and seeing the color in natural light, he's going to love it. Now, it doesn't have much color on it, so what you're seeing is some of the primer showing through. It's only got 2 coats on it. And on top of the fender, you're going to get more of a view.
Oh, yeah, it looks
Get that
very different
Prepsol.
when you're looking down on the
Correct.
top of it. Yeah. The color was a little dull, but they sprayed something on it that would duplicate a clear coat on top of it, so suddenly it was shiny and, you know, more like fingernail polish. And it brought out the color.
Even back here, now that's got more, I put an extra coat on there too.
It looks quite a bit better. I can tell what the true color of it was.
I think it'll show the lines of the car, because there's beautiful lines in this car. Boy, that car looks spectacular in the maroon. Sometimes a really bright red will distract your eyes from looking at the car itself, and you're seeing more of the color.
I agree with
rather
that,
than-
especially if it's a color that everybody really is used to. You know that, that Ferrari red.
Well, I love the red, don't get me wrong, but some cars it works for and some it doesn't. I've done my sales pitch. I've brought it out into the light. I've done everything I can to talk him into this color, but yet it is his car and he has the final choice in the end. You talk it over with
I
Craig
wasn't
now.
expecting this prank.
Well,
Sorry about that, David.
it wasn't really a prank other than...
Oh, it was a prank. I think he just was 100% convinced that I should at least see that color.
I apologize for that. I couldn't let you on to any of it because I had to do what he said.
It was a nice color. That's all I can say. No, I don't know about my color, but a nice color.
We are going to paint it Ferrari red.
Let's go.
Looks good, just the wrong color, but it looks good. Yeah.
Wayne doesn't get his way on this one. It came out really nice.
It's been about 10 months since we first painted the Mangusta Ferrari red. And since then, we've made a ton of progress. The transmission and the Ford 289 Hypo engine were both completely rebuilt. All the original and irreplaceable glass has been brought back to a flawless, like new condition. And Craig rewired the electrical system bumper to bumper. From there, we installed the heat and AC unit, as well as the engine. All that hard work has brought us to a tremendous milestone in the restoration. Today is like having a piece of butter and maybe some maple syrup on your waffles because it's a good day.
I painted the shafts. I got new U-joints just came in, so double checked everything. Looks like she's all set, ready to be fired up if you're ready to hear it.
I am.
Should be no issues.
Got fluid in everything?
Yeah, it's all full.
No leaks?
No leaks. See what happens when we start it.
Yeah. We're going to start up the Mangusta for the first time. Craig's been buttoning up everything and making sure that everything is put together correctly and all the hose clamps are tight and everything is good.
really nervous. Anything can happen when you start an engine for the first time. But I came in this morning and I walked around the car and I was checking things, and I said to her, today's a big day. We're going to start your engine today, so you need to cooperate because you haven't cooperated very well throughout this whole process. I really need you to cooperate today. No issues, no leaks, no scratches. So we had a nice talk this morning, and I hope she comes through for me. We've double-checked everything, but, you know, it's just nerve-wracking. Wayne, can you keep an eye over there? I'm going to turn the key on, electric fuel pump. Just make sure you don't see
Any gas gushing?
Yeah, I checked it before, but... Before we start the engine, we always remove the coil wire because we don't want the engine to fire right up. We want to crank it, get a little bit of oil circulated out throughout the motor. The oil filter's new, it's a remote oil filter.
Got oil pressure?
Yeah, and we watch the oil pressure gauge. We want to see some oil pressure come up before the engine actually fires and starts putting a lot of torque on everything. The oil pressure gauge came right up. So we stopped, we put the coil wire on, and we are going to start the Mangusta. I've been dying to hear this car run after all this work. I'm a little nervous about it, but very excited at the same time.
Okay, here we go.
See anything leaking? I'm looking around, there's nothing leaking. Wayne's looking on one side, I'm looking on the other. It's sitting there idling on fast idle. There's no problems. I'm floating. I'm floating. I'm so happy. Oh man, I can't wait to see the look on David's face, to get that same feeling that I just had.
Thing runs good. The exhaust is I don't hear any ticking or anything.
No.
No exhaust
No
leaks.
exhaust leak. No fluids gushing out anywhere.
Don't like that.
Nice. AC clutch and fan are working. Cooling fans are working. Nice.
Sounds great. Sounds great. It's a great day for the Mangusta, but really for everyone in the shop that's working so hard on that car to get it completed.
I gotta go thank her. I'm gonna go rub her and thank her. Thank you.
Now that we know the Mangusta is running great,
Don't like that.
Nice.
it's time for David to make some decisions about the interior and meet the newest member of the F40 team.
Flowers every morning.
Quid is an expert in creating period-correct upholstery and interiors.
This is going to go into a famous car.
Yeah, what famous car?
Well, it's one that I'm doing. That's why it's famous.
I quit. We came to invade you. I scare you every time I come in.
I'm zoned into what I'm doing. That's the truth.
This is Quid. This is
Hey, how
David.
you doing?
Hey,
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. When I was 15 years old, I left school and went to work for a local upholstery shop. And I've been doing it ever since. This is definitely original that came out of the car. The reason, the way I know, is the backing of it. It's totally different to anything else that's in the car. 2 years ago, I retired.
I asked if anyone knew where Quid was. So they said, well, I think he's in retirement, but yet I think he'll come and do some work for you if you might call him.
The next thing I know, I get a phone call from Wayne. ask him if I would come out of retirement and come back and work for him. We're going to go with the ultra suede inside the headlining panel. I would go ultra suede on the top.
And the big reason for that, it's nice to have our own guy working in-house on our cars.
This is a Ferrari black. What we would be looking at, this is what I just used in the car that's here right now. Grain's nice, looks nice. And then you would match that with carpet. This is more plush. This is a better quality.
Yeah, I like this. You can barely even see.
Yeah, it's
really
beautiful.
everything
Yeah,
sits so tight.
yeah.
We're talking about the interior and how great it's going to look. We're using this real super supple Connolly hides in the car, and then David all of a sudden drops the bomb.
We should ask him what he thinks of that.
I'll tell you
What's
already
that?
what you're going to say.
What do I think of what?
Red piping.
I was going to put red piping on my seats.
Quid gave the look.
No, don't spoil it. Spoil it if you do.
And said, oh, no, please, no. We can't do red piping.
I never intended to do it from the start, but then I just started to think about it more. And
One of the things David has been talking about was putting red piping on the seats, and I've been dead set against it all from the beginning.
my original thinking was that if it was 1969, and the car maybe cost a few dollars more, it probably would have come with piping. How about red stitching? How do you feel about that?
It's too modern.
I'll do anything that you
modern.
want, but I think you best stay with original.
We restored this car to absolute perfection as to how it came out of the factory. We wanted to be authentic 100%, and they never had red piping in a car like that. I got to compromise. We'll get floor mats for it, and we'll put the red piping on the floor mat.
That's a compromise.
There's nothing.
And it'll say no piping. Apparently nobody seems to like the red piping. That normally wouldn't stop me, though, from doing it, so I just have to think about it some more.
I don't know what the outcome is going to be with the interior. So time will tell. We'll see.
Hey, that Ferrari has red piping. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I didn't even notice it at first. I think I like it. Wayne?
With the restoration of the Mangusta almost complete, we've made a plan to finish it quickly and debut it to David and to the public for the very first time.
Not too shabby.
It's been entered in a show in Boston. The customer's looking forward to it, and so is Wayne.
I've entered David's car in the Boston Cup, which is just 1 month away. It should be enough time to finish the interior and final details, but it's a big job.
Come hell or high water, Wayne wants it at the show.
First up, Quid gets to work creating the racing-style seats.
We got to keep it looking original. So we want it to feel good and to look good.
I could just stay here all day. We've virtually got 30 days.
We're good.
Yeah. The next 10 days go by in a whirlwind. Quid finishes the headliner, the dash, and the gorgeous hood pad, and hand stitches the leather on the steering wheel.
It's been 15 years since I last did a steering wheel, so this is like going down memory lane.
Finally, with David's permission, he completes the seats without the red piping.
Looks like the seat is pretty much buttoned up. Looks beautiful.
With just 1 day left until the event, it's all hands on deck. Craig, Marius, Chris,
Tomaso Mangusta,
and Nick all pitch in to get the job done.
Maris is under here just doing final little touch-ups on any little nick or chip on the suspension that has happened through the process of installation.
We're doing a restoration that's going to last for lifetimes to come, and you got to make sure it's perfect.
we fret over the bottom of the car as much as the top of the car, but once on the show field, it's so low, nobody looks at the bottom of the car. But we know it's perfect, and that's the key.
It all comes down to the last 2%. And the 2% seems to take as long and as tedious as restoring the whole car sometimes.
In this carpet, we have these little white little hairs that look like we haven't vacuumed them. And the vacuum's not pulling them out, but the vacuum, yeah.
After hundreds of hours of work, the end is finally in sight.
We're almost there. I'd like this in my trailer at 3 o'clock. We got to have a goal, you know.
Then we go home.
Whatever you want to do. You can go anywhere you want after that.
That's it. That's it.
Okay, we're going to give Craig the honor of putting it in the trailer.
I can't wait for tomorrow. I'm in Boston today. I'm at the Boston Cup. We've just unloaded the Mangusta. We're going to unveil it to David at 11, and I can't wait to see his face. Perfect. The Boston Cup is a fun event held right on the Boston Common every September.
Good cars this year.
It's a relaxed environment where you can see a wide variety of cars and spend some time with fellow car lovers.
What's happening, man? I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Good to see you. Hey, David.
Hey, fancy meeting you here.
How you doing, man? Good to see you.
And you never met Nancy.
Hi,
She's
Nancy.
been down on
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet
only
you,
one
too.
of the visits.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Great. Thanks for coming.
Yeah. You should leave the cover on because I don't want it dirty.
Well, we're not going to let you see it till the guys get here. And
Oh, okay.
they're about 10 minutes away.
Okay, that's okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
We've got all sorts of great things planned for today, and I want my guys to be a big part of that.
This is a very exciting day. The car came out phenomenal. I just can't wait for him to see it, you know. I may have to pick him up off the ground. I don't know.
Hey, how are you?
Made it.
Good to see you.
Kind of a whole ball of emotions. We put a lot of work into it, a lot of time, hoping for the best.
Come on in, Quid.
There he is.
I'm so glad you guys all came. Yeah.
True.
I was so flattered that they wanted to come. They're way more familiar with this car. It's more like their car than my car, really. So they certainly deserve to be here. I'm glad they came.
Okay, so it's up to you guys. I got it here, covered it up. Now you got to uncover.
We're gonna uncover it.
All right,
Ready?
Dave, do you have tissues? You might need tissues.
Can I help you?
Go from the back.
From the back? Okay.
Sure, why
Go
not?
From the back. Ready?
I'll let them do it.
I'm trying to unroll the cover and keep an eye on David because I wanted to see his reaction.
Totally amazing.
Look at that interior.
Is your baby, David?
Who's Queen? I can't believe how good it actually looks finished. It's completely changed the way it looks. I'm so glad that we polished those wheels.
Yeah, no, they look great. Good call.
I was worried a little
Yeah,
about it.
and I'm happy we painted it red.
Oh, yeah? We're friends again.
To see it here in public and the reaction
from the public when the cover came off and the applaud. Wow. It just really, you know, for me and the crew, because they're all here. And I know the guys are having a great time, too.
The keeper. Let's see if he can fit in the car. Watch out for that mirror.
Oh, yeah. I'll need different shoes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I'll need tiny loafers. Boy, the dashboard, it looks beautiful. Yeah.
As long as you fit. That's the key.
I'll just change the shape of my body if I don't fit. I love the fact that it's so hard to get in and out of. No, seriously, it's like any car you can get in and out of.
Right.
You got to go back to the 60s to get into this car.
That's right.
It's like seeing it for the first time. Not even like it's my car. It's like seeing this car like at a car show in 1966.
Lever, pops it, put your hand underneath.
Here?
Yep, just pull up. It's one thing when you just reveal a car, but it's another when it's a little personal. This meant a lot. The customer or someone goes, wow, and it's like, it feels good, I did that. From a car guy's perspective, that's a really good, it hits here.
Yeah.
Oh my
Connolly
God,
leather.
that's incredible.
Oh, this looks great.
Doesn't that look good?
Yeah.
Quid made that all by hand. It's all hand stitched.
Everything's
I wasn't
hand-stitched.
expecting that.
You weren't?
I wasn't expecting
It was wonderful just to see everyone loving the car, and especially seeing David love the car. It was just, it's a great feeling. I had to make each one of them individual.
Really?
You know, get
How long
that
did it
right.
take you to do it?
This, I was working on it for 5 weeks. It was wonderful that my granddaughter was able to come over to the car, see the leather on the wheel.
Yeah.
That's all hand stitched. For me to be able to talk to her a little bit about what I did, it was wonderful. Wonderful.
The crowds were all around the car. Everybody loved the car.
So the engine's back here. Right there. Oh my God.
It's a fantastic day. I wish we could do this to every car that we restore. Did you see the steering wheel?
Yeah. It came out great.
Good job, guys.
Thank you.
You should be very proud of yourself.
Thank you, we are.
We've got a special thank you for you, and we're going to let the guys give it to you. It's in that box, so if you...
Is it a
Gonna do
puppy?
this?
A puppy?
It's a puppy and a cappuccino.
What? Oh, it's incredible. Yeah.
We had this made. This is from the guys to you for allowing us to do this project for you.
I'm very grateful for this and for all the work you guys did.
No problem.
Those results are unbelievable. It couldn't be better.
I know, it's
really
perfection.
It was fun.
Yeah, fun project. Look at that.
That's great.
Is that cool or what, David?
I'm so proud of the guys doing their job precisely.
I'm most proud that a little shop in Portland with my small crew of guys can pull off a restoration like that. It was a team effort, and everybody that worked on it put their 100% into it.
To actually see it all come together to be probably better than your highest expectation, that's very satisfying, and that's the reason that we all do this business.
All right, everybody say Mangusta.
Mangusta.
Thank you.